Hey, so I did a video called Full Recovery, The Gift of Time and Space a little bit ago, and I was just looking at some of the comments on it. And in that video, if you haven't watched it, I'm just talking about how when you have an eating disorder, you're really scared of time and space. And the reason for that, for most of us, is because we're terrified of time where we're not occupied, because if we're not occupied, then we can't get distracted from our mental hunger, and our mental hunger is just there the whole time. So most of us just fill every moment of our day with busy to avoid that. And I was saying how one of the loveliest things about full recovery is that you just enjoy time and space. You're not scared of it anymore. You can just love time where you don't actually have anything to do. It's not scary. You start actually enjoying your life, which is full of time, by the way. In fact, arguably, the only thing that you really have in life that's valuable is time. So not to be able to enjoy time is kind of not to be able to enjoy life. Fucking hell, that's philosophical, isn't it? Anyway, but what I was going to say was I had some comments on that, which I thought was sort of, as I've done that video, it's relevant to answer that. So kind of what this one person said, how do you know what your hobbies were to start with before the exhaustion went away, after the exhaustion went away? I've no idea what I actually find enjoyable. After spending so many years on my ED, I'm extremely bored now when doing recovery, and I don't want that to stand in the way of actually doing the work. I'm scared that I won't find anything meaningful in my life again. And then somebody said, your example with not interested in being social, it's like hard to reframe the belief that it's ever going to be something of interest again. And the eating disorder makes it seem a ridiculous, boring thing. I hate this because logically I know it's the opposite. I guess it just comes in time, hey? So I know this is exactly what you guys have pointed out, is the obstacles to that. When you start recovery, all you're interested in is your eating disorder, sad little eating disorder life of restriction, thinking about food. And okay, for example, when I had an eating disorder, all my idea of a fun Friday night was sitting at home flicking through cookbooks. And I couldn't imagine a world in which I'd want to do anything else. Not really. Or maybe I could. Maybe I lusted after a world where I actually had a social life. Now I'm fully recovered, I don't even own a cookbook. Probably because I don't cook. But fuck me. I was boring, wasn't I? But that's the thing. It's like your concept of what's boring. Whereas I would have been like, oh, all those losers just like sitting in the pub having a fun time, having a drink on a Friday night. Well, me and my cookbook are having such a better time. Your perception changes, I guess, is the point. And our perception creates our reality. And so, when you have an eating disorder, you can't really perceive that you need or want or desire a social life. And part of having an eating disorder is this superiority complex. It's like, oh, other people need social lives. I don't. I'm better. I'm superior to that, right? So you've got that going on. And then the other commenter said, you've got this big gap between starting recovery, getting recovered, and your life actually taking off and all this stuff changing. There's just this big empty gap. And yeah, you'll just be a little bit maybe bored for a while and you won't even know what you're interested in. I don't know what to say other than watch Netflix and push through it. And you'll come out the other side and it'll just fall in place. Don't be too impatient. I know it's annoying, but it will just fall into place and it'll all work itself out, but you sort of got to hang in there. You got to hang in there through the little bumpy bit where you don't know who you are or what you want to do in order to get out the other side where you do know who you are and what you want to do. And all I'm going to tell you is that your perception changes drastically. You've got somebody who was obsessed with cookbooks, had hundreds of them, spent all of her free time, leisure time, looking for a cookbook. That was my treat, by the way. I'd have to work really hard all day, and then when I finally got in and allowed myself to eat, I was allowed to look through a cookbook as well. Jesus Christ. That's so sad. Anyhow, luckily for me, I got myself recovered, and that's not an issue anymore. But if you're in that space, just understand your perception will change. And the things that you're interested in when you have an eating disorder will not necessarily be the things that you're interested in 1 iota when you don't have an eating disorder. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Unless you ask me more questions, in which case I'll make more videos. But what I did want to say on that note, because a couple of people commented like, oh, you're back, when I published that video. And it's like, actually, because I accidentally published that video public rather than to the members only channel. And it's not that I've gone anywhere. I've been making videos, but I've got a members only channel. So I don't generally post videos anymore to the public channel. Because I'm like, you know what? If it's not worth $2.99 a month, then don't watch them. So I just mostly post videos to the members channel. So if you're wondering like, oh, where did she go? No, I didn't go anywhere. I still make videos sometimes, but they're in a members channel. And I would tell you how to subscribe if I actually knew, but it's probably going to be really self-explanatory on YouTube. I think there's probably a button that says that you can do that. Because my view is different from your view, because I'm on like the studio thing, because I'm the YouTube creator. So I don't know what your view looked like. I mean, if I was that interested, I could investigate, but let's face it, it's probably not going to happen. All right, bye.